What's up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew L. Case, and you are now tuned into the Middle Initial Podcast. Today is May 2nd, 2024, and I'm here with my co-host as usual. Dude, what you doing in my spot, man? Get out of my spot. You belong on that
Oh,
side.
wow.
Man.
Wow.
Kevin A. Lewis, Jude A. Jackson. Jude, say what's up to the people.
Hello, everyone. Hope things are going well.
About as
May the fourth
exciting
be with
as a
you
book
in
club.
2 days. May the
Oh,
fourth
oh,
be with you.
nobody cares. Kev, what's going on?
Oh,
Get this man out of here, bro. I'm good though. I'm good. I'm great. I'm great. Just blessed. What's going on, man?
Yes, it is May. It is May, Jude. It's gonna. You could have did. It's gonna be May. You could have did that. I mean, Cinco de Mayo's coming up. You made it Fourth. Anyway, Kayla Pace is in the building, back with us. Welcome back, Kayla Pace, and congrats on your new position as the social media person for the New York Mets.
Thank
Let's go. Let's
you.
go. Let's go. That's
Oh, it's
great.
awesome to be back, guys, and also great to have good news. Be back in the New York market. I am so excited.
Yes, yes.
mm,
Awesome.
Formerly
We love
working
that for you.
formerly working with the Connecticut Sun. Um, are you going to miss working for the WNBA?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really love that league, and it's like right on the edge of like blowing up and really being the next big thing. So I'm
mhm.
definitely gonna miss it. But I'm still gonna be cheering on the Sun, and trying to catch as many games as possible. But yeah, this is like the right step for me right now, and I'm really excited about it.
Right, right. Because the WNBA's after what we saw with the women's tournament, NCAA,
Mhm.
it's the excitement is there, and we've been talking
Mhm.
about it lately. And I'm so glad for the league. This is what the league needs to reinvigorate, and I hope we get some great rivalries up to come coming out. But
Mhm.
moving forward though, gonna be working with the Mets. We should we see us some games? So I think Jude is going to a Mets game next Friday.
Meeting up some Patreons next Friday. It's going to be super
Yes,
fun, super
Patreon
exciting.
hangout for the Braves
Patreon.
Mets series. I'm going to try to be there either Saturday for the 4 o'clock game or Sunday for the 7 o'clock game. Okay, P, will you be at any of those games?
No, so I start May 20th.
Oh,
So that'll be my first day.
okay.
So you'll just miss me, but you got to
We'll
come
make
back this
time.
summer.
We'll make time. We have all the time in the world. So we're going to do something a little different. If you tuned in to the podcast, the live stream last week, shout out to everybody. The numbers are
Mhm.
great. It ended up being, I think, 800 and some. I think it went up after, like people watched after, like 800 something views. So we
Oh,
appreciate
wow.
people who came out to watch us and
Mhm.
support us. First ever live stream for the NFL draft. It was a great time. All our patrons, most of our patrons were in the building. So definitely Jude made a claim that if we get up to I think it was 500, 600, that he
Mhm.
would do two Jude's Groove. So for the
Mhm.
first time ever, we're starting the show.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Pull up a seat and get off your feet for Jude's Grooves.
This is an unprecedented moment for Middle School Podcast. Double the grooves. We're starting off the show with a Jude Groove. Jude, get to
Also,
All right.
grooving.
quick,
Oh,
real fast. The song I sent you goes first. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. I was going to read that first anyway. I just wanted
All
to
right.
get out of
Good.
the way. Here we go. This is going to be interesting. Baby, up to the time, timeless. I'm trying my best. Who you are ramp with? Could not me. Baby, don't play around. What you all say. Don't take me for clown. Ever. Tech body girl. You think me easy. Who you ramp with? You want live easy. Tech me things and you tech me money too. So tech buddy too. Tech buddy too. Tech buddy gal. You think me easy. Who you ramp with? You want live easy. You take me things and take me money too. So take buddy too. Take buddy too. Okay. Four backshot that I feed thee whatnot. Three listen lap that I feed thee door and D grill and D padlock. D me
yo.
five sit down opponent. Fit the fridge and the blender. Pan the fridge top. E. Guan, bad feed the Louis Vuitton bag, tech rod feed the goods from Sep Rod, plus the ceramic tiles and the gold plate doorknob. That a girl cost you a blowjob. Okay. Peak buddy girl, you think me easy. Who you ramp with, you want live easy. Take me things and take me money too. So tech buddy too. Tech buddy too. Tech buddy gal, you think me easy. Who you ramp with, you want live easy. You take me things and take me money too. So tech buddy too. Tech buddy too. Okay, fuck me like hold on. Fuck me like Matrix in their 3D. Feed me CD, DVD, TV. Pay me back for all those kiki. Give me three free with you, me free. If your man gone big like Baby G, mine sing and DJ like Lady G. Ah, who pay a visa fee? Grab me cocky and sing Ponit like Alicia Key. Big buddy girl, you think me easy. Who you ramp with? You want love easy. Take me things and take me money too. So take buddy too. Take buddy too. Take buddy yeah. You think me easy. Who you ramp with? You want live easy. You take me things and take me money too. So take buddy too. Take buddy too. Yeah, I have no idea what this song is about. It's about sex.
Why? Why did you start the show with that, Kev?
Uh,
Listen, this is enough. We don't got to record anything else. Kayla, thanks for coming out.
I tried to tell you. That we're not going to want to do that after this, bro.
Follow Kayla Pace, KP underscore. That's it. The show's over. That's it. The show's done.
oh my goodness.
We're banned in Jamaica now. We're banned in Jamaica now. We're banned in Jamaica now. We're not allowed. I'm gonna get cussed out. My ancestors are mad at me for allowing this to happen. Oh my god. We need a palate cleanse. So let's officially start the show.
You are now tuned in to the Middle Initial Podcast, bitch. Now everybody pod nowadays, but it pays when you listen to Drew, Kevin, Case, and in case you missed it, get your spirits lifted. Man, New York's getting covered just to be specific. When the beast will kick it, you get back. Yeah, listen one time, I promise you come back. Now we switching up a topic, you know that we come pack. And I don't wanna say it, but bitch, we want blacks. In fact, we need that. Cause ain't nobody talk like the boys. It don't matter who you like or employ. We've been the best for a minute. Big brains could've went to MIT, but we like talking shit.
It's the MIP. Shout out to I Am Thor for that intro. Definitely needed that palate cleanse because there's no way we're going to continue this show on any type of serious note. Oh, KP, how did you feel about Jude's rendition of a Vibes Cartel song?
I gotta say, I like the pick. I think it was pretty funny. Well done. You guys know entertainment. You just do.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Well, we'll have some more entertainment towards the end of the hour. But let's jump into what people want to talk about: the Jets 2024 NFL Draft review. We sat there through the live stream. We didn't really discuss. We discussed picks, but not really ad nauseum because he's pretty much watching just round one. So we didn't go through the whole thing. Of course, we were definitely in the Discord discussing every pick that happened. The Jets followed the flow chart. Shout out to y'all for following the flow chart, doing what I suggested. Not necessarily in every round. They didn't go back to the second round. They got into they didn't go into the second round. They got picks. What they did? They traded back like 3 times in the third.
I feel like the Jets made a million fucking trades.
They did this so much, but they did what I wanted them to do, which was trade back in the first round, which is most important. Get a wide receiver. Get a quarterback, get a running back, get a safety or DB, a weapon. They did everything I wanted them to do except the additional running back. I don't know where that came from, but, Kev will get into that. But KP, a couple of years ago, we had you on the show, and we were talking about this. It was a preview, and, you convinced me that Sauce Gardner was the guy to pick out of Cincinnati. I watched film. I was with it, and it happened. We didn't really discuss, your thoughts about the draft this year, but how did you like what the Jets did?
So I think going into the draft, I was a little bit afraid of what they were going to do because I felt like I was not comfortable with where the offensive line was yet. And it's obviously like the backbone of the offense, especially with Aaron Rodgers coming off an Achilles. And And it's a lot more upside potential in receivers making a big play than offensive linemen being sturdy and stable. So I think that you can have a little lesser skill players if you need to. But I was looking at the skill players that'd be high up around 10, and I was a little nervous. I was like, they might end up going skill player. And while it is a deep draft for the offensive line, the next pick was in the 3rd round. So I was nervous about how that was going to look. I wouldn't have been mad about a skill player, but only if it came from like a trade back to get an offensive lineman early. That's what I was hoping was going to happen. I did not see them just picking like an offensive lineman right at 10. I thought they'd probably trade back and try to get a skill player too, which I would have been happy with that. But I was also not mad that they took an offensive lineman at 10. Like, I thought that was like still the biggest need on the team. It's just like, we've all seen it, especially like in the Joe Douglas era where it's been like a revolving door of linemen coming in and out each year. And like, it's not that Douglas goes into the offseason and doesn't try to sign a bunch of linemen. It just like hasn't worked out. So it's like as much insurance and as much like build as you can get on that front. Like, I was very happy to see that pick like fall that way. And I think that just like kind of the way other teams were picking too kind of made it a little bit easier for the Jets, because that 1st round, way too many quarterbacks went. I know that's off topic, but
oh no, that's on topic. We could get into that too. We could get into anything you want to get into. We were at a little word war in our Discord about what we should do, right? You said offensive line. I was big on Brock Bowers. It was kind of split. I think when the poll was done, I think it was Bowers, wide receiver or tight end was at like 33%. I think O-line was like 26%, and somebody had put like center or DB or whatever, just to make a joke. But it felt like everybody in Jets Twitter, Jets fandom, even in the media, were split on where to go. I also agree with you on the fact that the trade back was the smartest thing to do, and just not staying at 10 and picking O-line, because I just felt like if you stay at 10, you should just go skill player and then get O-line later. Mm-hmm. But I always felt like the 2nd round was just ripe with talent, and we should get back in it, which we didn't. Surprisingly, to my surprise, we didn't, but we got up higher in the 3rd. Jude, let's talk about this trade, because KP mentioned, the skill player position. The Jets were trying to get up to 8. They were trying to get a skill player, right? Let's get it. Yeah. No, I'm putting.
Why did you do this? You know what the angles are with this shit. Why?
Hey. Where's my basketball? This is why I'm point guarding this shit. Okay. The Jets were trying to trade up to 8 and get a skill player. My question to you, Jude, is what did the Jets have to do during the regular season?
I plead the fifth. I'm not going to answer this loaded ass question right now.
It's not loaded. It's not loaded.
Answer the damn question.
They listen. They tried to trade up, and Chicago said no. And who was above Chicago? It was
Atlanta.
Atlanta said no, right? Mm-hmm. Which in Atlanta saying no is funny as fuck, because I don't think anybody had Penix going in the top 10, much less the top 15. So Atlanta saying no was just hilarious to me. But if the Jets just did blank, they wouldn't have to try to trade up. Jude, what was that?
If they didn't beat Washington, they probably are right now in the top 6, 7. If they didn't beat Washington, that would have been enough to get a wide receiver. Unfortunately,
was that was the only game they won in December?
Yeah, other game they won in December? No, sorry, it wasn't December, Cap. It was January. What game did they win to start the year? Right? That you thought was a necessary evil.
Mm-hmm. No, not an evil. No.
Oh, that's necessary. Sorry. This is necessary. You're right. Kev. What win did you think was so necessary that the Jets had in January of 2024?
Oh, they beat the Patriots. They won the games they needed to. Everything fell almost perfectly for the Jets.
They won the games they what?
You know what? We're not gonna. You know
no, Kev. I want them to continue. They won the games they needed to.
Yes. In the end, we got an offensive lineman.
They didn't want an offensive lineman, Jude. They wanted to trade up to 8 for a skill position.
We can't help that Atlanta was randomly thinking about Michael Penix at 8.
Stop. You know what would have helped us? Not being the Patriots.
Well, how about we can easily just say not beating.
Cut in. The floor is yours, Cal.
I just want to cut in with the definition, the dictionary definition of the word need. Okay. A verb. Require because it is essential or very important. Please tell me where the fuck that win was required because it was essential or important. Please. Please.
Well, the Washington win we could have done without. That's the win that I think did not help. But beating New England, it's a symbolic thing. Bill Belichick is now out of a job.
I didn't ask any of that shit. I asked you why they needed to win. You used the word need. I brought out the dictionary definition of the word because you don't listen to me. So maybe you listen to the fucking dictionary. And now you're telling me it's symbolic. That doesn't answer my question. If they lost, the sun would have rose the next day the same fucking way, right? And the sun would have set the next day the same fucking way, correct?
Yes.
So they didn't need it then.
They might have not needed it, but they clearly wanted it, and they got it. And now they have an offensive lineman, which I am happy with. Now, if they took a defensive player for some reason, I would not be happy with that.
Listen, I don't want to hear shit from you if Mike Williams out here can't play and they running out Lazard, me, and what's homeboy's name? Corley. Like, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear a word from you if that happens. I don't want to hear nothing. Not a word.
You say nothing. Case really just threw up this loaded ass question at me about tanking. This is a loaded question.
Listen, man. I mean,
that
conversation will never stop.
KP made an excellent point about the skill position, right? So I just had to pass it to you because the conversation we've been having was the wins necessary when we knew that it meant nothing, and you were like, it meant something. It meant something. Yeah, it meant that they had to try to trade up assets to get to a position that they really wanted, a player like Ozune, like who they really wanted to get, but they settled for trading back and getting a tackle. Now, if that's their plan B, it's a great plan B. But plan A was evident that they wanted to trade up.
Yeah, they tried to trade up with the Giants, I believe, which the Giants were at 6, and I think they tried to trade up.
And if they would have just, since the Jets are professionals at winning football games that don't fucking matter. They do this year in, year out. They win games that don't fucking matter. And Jude like defends this to the death for some reason. I don't know why.
He does.
And you would think this would have stopped after the Jets won themselves into Zach Wilson. You would think that shit would stop right then and there. It has. Like, Zach Wilson is one of the literal worst quarterbacks ever fucking drafted. Ever. Mm-hmm. And you would think if they just lost 2 more games, you wouldn't have had to go through that. But yet, here we are, still doing this. They won the game.
Because what Jude 2-14 is 2-14 is better than 0-16, right?
Oh yeah. Because it's historic. Like, we'll always remember. No, the fuck we won't. The Detroit Lions went winless. We don't care. The Browns went winless. We don't care. We don't talk about historic losers like that. At least single season wise, we just don't. We make fun of the Jets for losing because they haven't made the fucking playoffs since Wiz Khalifa was number 1 on the damn charts. They haven't made the playoffs since then. That's why we make fun
since of them. Black and yellow.
Since Black and Yellow was number 1 on the fucking charts. That's the last time the Jets made the postseason. That's why we make fun of them. Not because they won 2 games in the season.
Well, but the point is that the Jets got a good lineman that's compared to the
Your point stinks. That's what it is, Playboy. Your point stinks.
And they could have traded up, but it takes 2 to tango. The other teams just said no. And you know what?
It don't take 2 to tango. Just lose. That's it. It's really easy. Just fucking lose.
They were trying versus Washington. Washington just did a better job of losing. Robert Barry.
They didn't try hard enough week 18. They didn't try hard enough.
I mean, I don't know what. I mean, you saw that Patriots team. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I don't know unless they yield every play.
So the Patriots lost the game to the Giants last year. It's not that hard to take. The Patriots managed to do it.
Hey man, listen, Jude. You know what? I'm gonna give you a pass. Your take may stink. Your take stinks. It may stink, but you know what doesn't stink, Jude? These hats from Dads Are Cool too. Okay. These hats do not stink. These hats are amazing. You go to dadsarecool2.com and get you a hat and look good.
Oh God.
You're a dad, and you want to turn that D into a Z, become a Zaddy. dadsacool2.com. Promo code MIPod69 to get 10% off your dad hat. KP, tell your dad. Tell your dad.
Oh god.
Tell your dad.
Following up, like, do you want to be a zaddy with that to close is really funny. It's really funny. That's really funny.
I met Kayla Pace's dad. He's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man. Very, very. I love talking to him. He's a great guy. I got to make sure I bring him to the hat. Bring him a hat to the next tailgate we throw.
Okay.
Well, back to the draft. Kev, you were also there in the war of words in the Discord. How did you feel? How did you feel about the draft overall? And who is your favorite pick?
I thought the offensive lineman was the responsible, boring, like take your medicine pick. I thought that's what it was. Where it's like nobody. It's like giving your father a pair of socks for Christmas. Like nobody is ever excited about getting a pair of socks. But that 15-degree day in January, he gonna wear those socks and he's gonna like those fucking socks. So that's what it is. Like nobody's ever excited about taking a fucking offensive lineman because it's not a glamour position. Now Rodgers will be excited if this dude could block, right? Rodgers will be excited. Breece Hall would be excited if he could open holes for the guy. So I think that was the best pick. Corley is interesting because I think, and I get it, it's a new draft pick. People are not really looking at downside. Everybody's talking themselves into it. That's what fans do. I think there's more downside than people are letting on because the Corley types, this usually goes one of two ways. You turn into Deebo Samuel or you turn into Amari Rodgers. Like, there's really no in between. Like, you get the guy who, like, his specialty is catching passes at the line of scrimmage and breaking 18 tackles. You get those dudes, and they either become the world's greatest or they become out of the league in 2 years. That's just typically how this goes. That's the kind of player he is. Now, if he could clean up his route running, like, the Jets might have something because homeboy cannot be tackled. He refuses to be tackled. So, like, just on from a personal viewing standpoint, like, he's probably my favorite pick. The best pick to me was the lineman, especially given that they traded down one spot and got picks out of it, which was good business for them, assuming that was the player that they wanted once their trade up attempts failed. So I think that's what worked out for them. It worked out for them in that way. Go ahead, Drew.
I was going to say, like, the picks the Jets got, Corey, and the first running back they got, the theme I'm getting is, like, these are players you don't – I mean, this sounds so cliche, but these are players that you really don't want to tackle. Like, that one highlight the Jets posted of that running back, I was like, damn.
Allen.
Running through that guy?
Allen.
Allen. I was like, running through that guy, I'm like, yeah. I see the vision they're going for. Like, they're going for, like, that smash mouth team. Don't want to tackle these 60 minutes, all of those cliches and everything. That's my take, is that I think it's, like, changing the identity a little bit. Maybe to be more like the Titans, which makes sense since we have half of the coaching staff over here.
All right. Let's fucking relax.
Stop trying to
be like the Titans. Like, yeah, right. That might be what you want. Nobody else wants that. Nobody else wants or fucking needs to be like the fucking Titans, bro.
Oh my god. Let's talk about the quarterback situation, KP. You mentioned the amount of quarterbacks that went in round one. I believe it was 4 within the top 10. Right, it was the first 3, and then the Penix pick at 8, which surprised the shit out of everybody.
Top 12, right? Or 5 or 6.
I think it was 6 in the.
It was
6 in the first round.
6 in the first round, yes.
Oh, yeah.
4 in the top 10, 5 in the top 15. 12. Top 12?
15.
Yeah.
Bo Nix went 12, but 15.
He went 12. Yeah. And who was after that? It was who went after Nix?
Oh, Spencer Rattler was 3rd round.
3rd round. So yeah, so five quarterbacks taken in the first round. 5 in the top 15. Who was more? Well, I don't even want to ask you this question, Kate, because this is who was more surprising, Penix at 8 or Nix at 12?
Honestly, I wanted to say like you could decide which one was more surprising based on the front offices, but like both of them are known to do ridiculous things. So it's like, yeah, okay, Denver and Atlanta, that checks. But I guess you have to lean Atlanta, right? Because of the Kirk Cousins signing. Like, okay, like Bo Nix, Zach Wilson, and training camp is way funnier, but like I mean, like that's hysterical. That's like a TV show.
It
Um,
is.
but I
Denver
think that
should
like
definitely do Hard
Penix,
Knocks.
after paying Cousins like that, it's not even the fact that they drafted a quarterback. It's like they drafted one that high after spending that much money. It's
Yeah,
so
that's
crazy.
crazy.
But Kirk Cousins keeps doing it. He keeps getting the bag. Respect to him.
The penultimate bag getter. It used to be
Yeah.
Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn was a bag getter, and he set the precedent for bag getting. But Kirk Cousins, Matt Flynn, what's the term, Kev? Matt Flynn ran so Kirk Cousins could walk.
Yes. No, opposite. Walk so Kirk can
Walk. Kirk, the fact that even Kirk Cousins was surprised, and people are trying to make this rationale. Like, oh well, there's an out after 2 years, his first 2 years or whatever. Kirk Cousins got more guaranteed money, right? You could have still gotten Penix later on and took your edge. I don't think anyone was going for Penix that high.
I mean, we don't know that.
We don't know, but
Bo Nix went 12. We don't know that. Bo Nix went 12.
He went 12.
We don't know that. Yes,
but
Bo Nix went 12. They were if they didn't get Penix at that time, they were never going to get him. That's just how it goes.
Who do you think would have taken him? Raiders?
Does it matter? It doesn't matter. Bo Nix went 12. I don't know who's going to take him. Somebody would have traded up for him if they needed to.
I'm pretty sure these guys.
Penix wasn't making it past like 15 at worst.
I'm pretty sure these guys talk to each other. You know, I mean, they have to during the war room. You know, who you want, who's Atlanta drafting, what's going on.
Sure.
There was no reason to take Penix at 8. Like literally no reason. You could have traded out and got.
There's a very good reason to take Michael Penix at 8. If you love the quarterback, you take him. And Kirk Cousins shouldn't fucking stop you from doing that. Like, yes, they paid Kirk. I understand. The timing looks away, right? It looks how it looks. I can't argue that. No shit. My thing with this is nobody, as a football watching community, we don't take Kirk Cousins seriously. Neither do the Falcons. And now all of a sudden we look at the Falcons like, well, how could you do such a thing? Because they don't take him seriously. Just like we don't.
But they paid him like they take him seriously. That's the thing.
They paid him typical stopgap money. That's what stopgaps go for. Derek Carr went for $45 million fucking dollars. Derek Carr, NFL Joel Osteen went for $45 million. 45. Daniel Jones went for $40 million. Daniel Jones is getting a 6th year starting. Daniel fucking Jones. This is what the NFL is pressed for quarterbacks. Rightfully so to a degree. I think even for me, I think they're taking it too fucking far. If we're drafting Bo Nix in the top 12, what the fuck are we doing?
That explains the whole thing. That explains the whole quarterback run. Is all of the greats have like pretty much retired out, and everyone is just mid now.
That's very big part of it.
Yeah. We are in a renaissance, so to speak, of bad quarterback play. As you can tell by the draft class, because the defense. So Jude wants defense to come back. But unfortunately, the defenses aren't that good enough for defenses to come back in the way that you want to.
I mean, because defenses were better than offenses last year. That's part of the problem.
But in the way they want defenses Jude wants defense to be back. We're not going to get 13 to 6 games anymore.
Jude doesn't know what the fuck he wants 1 minute to the next.
Wow, why are you doing this, Kev?
Right, but listen, we're not getting Greg McElroy or whatever at quarterback playing, in a meaningless game in week 16 unless somebody gets hurt. But the point is, what KP is saying. We knew this was coming. Like, we knew this was coming. Like, eventually, like, especially when Tom Brady was done, it was like, all right. And I think what's bad about this whole situation is Tom Brady right now doing the whole pussyfoot, like, oh, you never know. I may want to come back. Because he realized, the league is bad. And he's not like at the quarterback position, the league is bad at the quarterback position. Not awful, but it's like, it's not as I could come back and thrive. And I could just sit behind a good offensive line and be better than 25 other quarterbacks, right? And he did it. He did it in Tampa Bay. And of course, as you see with San Diego, how they approach the draft, you have Justin Herbert, and they approach the draft like they have Zach Wilson. They have Justin Herbert at quarterback, and they approach the draft like Zach Wilson's their quarterback. So, to KP's point, and I agree, we're definitely in a raw period right now at quarterback. But taking Penix at 8, whether you really loved him or not, was not the fucking move. It just didn't make any sense.
We don't know that.
Well, okay, we don't know that now.
Like, his career has yet to play out. We don't know that.
I mean, I think the thing
that's career-wise, just saying that I'm going to stand firm on 8 as if he wouldn't have been there 2 spots later.
Oh, that part is indisputably stupid.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
That part,
That's what
that
I'm talking
specific
about.
part, not wanting to
And-
trade from 8 to 10 is
Right.
indisputably
Right.
fucking.
And I'm not
dumb.
saying that because I'm a Jets fan. I'm just saying, like, just thinking
No,
about like 8.
that's dumb. Like unless they had intel, which is of course possible, but the Falcons don't deserve any benefit of the doubt with regards to shit. But unless they had intel, like somebody is hot on the trail to trade up to 9, like yeah, not trade to 10 was stupid.
I will say the Michael Penix thing. The interesting thing is it creates an interesting problem. I know the Falcons GM described it as a good problem, but it's like you either have a very expensive backup of Kirk Cousins at $45 million, or the first time Michael Penix hypothetically plays is 2 years from now, and he's already what 24.
24.
So he's going to be 26,
which isn't bad
27.
because how old was Aaron Rodgers when he first started?
If he's good, nobody's gonna give a fuck how old he is. Like he ain't a running back.
Fair.
Right.
Like if he was a running back, yeah, it was like, oh yeah, that can't work. Like,
as long as you're not starting at Chris Wenke's age, you're fine. You're pretty much fine.
Like people can say, oh well, this method hasn't worked, bro. How many 24-year-olds have been drafted to play quarterback? The sample's like 4, bro. Like yes, Brandon Whedon stunk. Like yes, we shouldn't take somebody based on that. That was what 15, 20 years ago.
Was he 24? Whedon was like 28 when he got drafted, wasn't he?
Whatever, but you know what I mean. Like, old. They old.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Old. Like not exactly 24, but 24 plus. Let's call it. And
yeah, that was him and Winky was just ridiculous. I did not, it was so crazy to think Winky was really going to be drafted, and he got drafted. I was like, they were seriously drafted. He was like a 10th year senior because he played baseball in college. It was just so terrible.
The quintessential get a job college athlete.
Bro, get a job, bro. Kroger's is hiring.
Get a
like,
job.
And I think he won his first start too.
Right
and then,
get a job. Please.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's quarterback play is questionable. Let's keep going with the Jets draft though. So let's talk about Jordan Travis. Since we're talking about quarterback, let's talk about Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis was on his way to could have been on his way to undefeated season until he broke his leg. It dropped his stock. He was like I know he wasn't the greatest college quarterback, but he was a Heisman candidate and everything before this happens. He breaks his leg. He drops down to round 5. They said before the injury is probably projected like a 3rd, maybe a 4th. So it was like a huge drop off, but a surprising drop off. And the fact that he went behind Rattler was kind of interesting as well. KP, what are your thoughts on Jordan Travis?
So I think that pick was like a very good fit for the circumstance, right? Because you don't want anyone coming in who like Aaron Rodgers would think is a legitimate like competitor at this point in time. And then you get this guy who like had a lot of upside, horrible injury, kind of left a big question mark about like how he could have finished and what he would have looked like up against that competition in the college football playoff. And then he's going to like rehab his way back again, like watching Aaron Rodgers and learning from Aaron Rodgers. So I think for the most part, like, I mean, we just talked so much about how like quarterbacks are just like all kind of mid right now, but like when you take those late round picks, like you really have no idea what you're getting. So, I mean, you could have somebody like a Dak Prescott who was looked at as like a really good late round quarterback pick for a while. I don't know what people's feelings on him are now, but like there's just like there's a lot of like potential with not a lot of capital spent. So it's just kind of like, okay, like we'll see how this goes, because walking into this situation where like it's really, even though they have much better backups, like the reality of the situation is they're relying on Aaron Rodgers to win them something this year, right? Like that's like what it is. So it's like it's Aaron Rodgers or bust still, even though there's better pieces behind him if that were to fall apart. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good pick, like because they needed another quarterback, but I don't really have any thoughts either way on like I thought Florida State was rightfully left out of the college football playoff, and I still don't really think that they were better than the 4 teams that were in, even if Jordan Travis played. So I don't think that's really a commentary on like how good I think Jordan Travis is. I think that's more of like a Florida State commentary. But like that being said, like I'm curious to see how that one could play out. I don't find it to be like a bad pick. And, I'm a South Carolina girl. I was not expecting Spencer Rattler to go before him either.
Right. That was the most questionable one. Yeah. He was the first pick after the first 5 went out. Go ahead, Jude.
With Jordan Travis, I mean, if he's ever starts in the game and he doesn't look like complete shit and he's like a backup, That's a win for me as far as I'm concerned. I know a lot of people are like, maybe he could be like the future franchise quarterback, and it's like, take it easy, guys at that slot. If they just come in and don't look horrible, that's fine. That is good enough.
Why they gotta take it easy, Jude?
How the fuck did you make this a thing? Like
Why
goodness,
they gotta take it easy? They
because
can't be
like
optimistic.
I mean, it's not about being optimistic, but it's like asking a fourth.
It quite literally is. This is what you said. It's a quote. You know, they're talking about. You know, he could be the franchise quarterback eventually. The slow down, Poppy. Like that's optimism that you're actively shitting on. Am I making this up?
Sure, I'm shitting on it, but it's just saying that it's more likely that he's a solid backup, and it's okay if he's a solid backup. You don't have to ask for the moon. Be a solid backup. Come into games, split your games, go home. Play like a professional quarterback. I don't ask for much. You see how Kev made this an argument when I was just saying the most tepid take?
It's almost like we're doing a fucking podcast. Excuse me.
Oh man, KP. All right, let's get back to this Jets team that we all love or love to hate. How do you feel about the offense as it stands currently constructed?
I mean, I don't think that I look at it and think like this is the strongest it could be at this stage of the game. Like I think that there's definitely some more moves that could be made. It's interesting because the Jets just have like a big tendency of getting these older players and just kind of like trying to plug them in, and players coming off injury, players that are injury prone, whatever it might be, and then older. And it's like, it hasn't worked a ton so far. So I'm curious to see, I'm just there with everybody else, excited about free agents wanting to come to the Jets and like whoever that may be. But I always approach with a very like timid outlook on these things, because it's just like, I feel, especially after last season, like the need for just like insurance on top of insurance on top of insurance. And like, I'm never going to feel comfortable until I'm watching them play a game and make it through the whole thing. So
Aaron Rodgers has to complete a pass. Once he completes a pass, things get a little bit easy. Complete a pass, complete a series.
Yeah, like it's hard to say. I mean, obviously, I think people still would like to see more in terms of like wide receivers, but like I think that like it's a tough one, because on draft day I was actually talking to my dad, and when he was saying, he's like, you know, there's a rumor that the Rams want to trade up and like get into the top 10 and get Cooper Kupp, like give Cooper Kupp, and then like we could get Cooper Kupp and then an offensive lineman. And I was like, that sounds pretty ideal to me. But again, it's once again just like recycling the older player, and it just like hasn't proven to work with the Jets. So I don't know what that issue is tied to. I don't know if it's bad luck. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. But I am thinking that at this point, some offensive weapons need to be added a bit, especially when it comes to like pass catchers, because it seemed stacked last year at the beginning, and then we realized it was only Garrett Wilson out there. So then it's like, wait, what are we doing? So we'll see. But I think I would like to see something else happen.
How did you feel about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the timeline, just out here going nuts? Like they were going nuts. You know, a certain specific group of radioactive Jets fans were really. I don't like the way I don't like the way they were going on about Bowers. It felt kind of January 6th-ish, the way they were going on about Bowers.
Oh, man.
But the conversation surrounding, and just because of the weapon situation, I wanted Bowers because I felt like, you know, we and I'm gonna use the air quotes, lost Uzama, and we have
that's so rude, man.
And we have Ruckert. So I figured,
all right. All right. We're not going to disrespect Jeremy Ruckert on this project. We don't have to do that. We don't have to.
Kenny Yeboah.
Uzama was one thing, even though like my favorite Uzama memory is catching that pass from Chris Streveler when Zach Wilson got benched against Jacksonville. I only say that to shit on Zach Wilson some more, because like Zach Wilson was so bad that he got replaced by fake ass Tim Tebow, and fake Tim Tebow threw the worst pass you'll ever see get a standing ovation. The word like
Yes.
Uzama would still be running if that pass hit him. Yo, they turned him completely fucking loose. Nobody was near him.
Right.
And he threw that shit like 15 yards short and behind him, and then they were just, the announcers couldn't believe it, and the people in the stands were going nuts. And it's like, this is crazy.
He did a broken U-turn to catch that ball, but
so bad.
But yeah, so a lot of people agree with your sentiment, KP, that we definitely need insurance a wide receiver, and the Jets wanted insurance a wide receiver, but yet they still traded back and got a tackle. So again, not against that move because that was a part of the flow chart. Respect the flow chart, but they knew they needed a weapon, right? The weapon was okay. Sorry, apparently they're drag racing in my neighborhood. I don't know where it was like. Was that a V12? But
Fast and Furious going on outside,
right? One last ride, but they needed a weapon. I like Mike. I like the Mike Williams signing, but he has to be healthy. Lazard needs to be anywhere else but on the team. I like the Gibson punt return for the win, but he's not really a wide receiver. Mm-hmm. I like the rookie only because Steve Smith likes the rookie, and I was a big Steve Smith fan growing up. And if he thinks he's a dog, then I'm going with Steve Smith. His football acumen is pretty on point. But if it turns out it's Garrett Wilson, Conklin, and the rest, that doesn't really excite me. But on the other hand, it looks like the Jets the ultimate plan is to run the football. Like they're going to run the football a lot. Mm-hmm. They have huge bodies on offensive line. You have insurance. You have insurance at with your first pick, number 11 overall, with Fashanu. So I just feel like the Jets are just going to focus on running the ball. I don't get getting Isaiah Davis out of South Dakota State. He dominated FCS. He's good. I don't know how much he's going to play. We had Izzy from last year. People thought he was going to preseason. I don't know how much he's going to play. And of course, we got Breece Hall, who, if healthy, is pretty much a top 5 running back. So it does feel like they're going to run a lot. I don't know how much you're going to have to throw, but if they ever have to rely on throwing the football, I just don't see how it works unless everyone is healthy. Everyone has to be healthy. And to your point, KP, for a team that hasn't been healthy and has taken these risks and signing these old banged up players, it just doesn't seem like the right move. Mm-hmm. We'll see how it works out. I'm not mad at the offseason that they had. It was a good offseason, but it's a lot of ifs. Go ahead, Jude.
I have a completely random off-topic drafting I want to talk about. The Jets drafted someone with the last name of Stickers. There are certain people from certain areas of New York that should not try to pronounce his name. They should not be trying to say his name in the stadium. They know who they are. That's all I have to say.
Do we? I feel like you need to explain. What do you mean by that?
If you say Stickers too fast, it might be something else I'm not going to say. But yes, that is all it is. And there are certain people from certain areas of New York and certain fan groups that should not be saying it. That's all. That's my PSA. Thank you.
Wait, hold on. Who's the guy that had the questionable last name, and he had to let people know how it was pronounced? I forgot his name.
Oh man.
Oh, was it Kofi Coburn from Illinois?
It was.
Was it? No. It was a white dude, and it wasn't. What was it?
I forget what it was. Oh, it was Negro, I think.
Not Negro. No, not Negro. It was something.
Remember,
it was.
Man.
Oh my God! Like
that's gonna drive me crazy.
Listen, I like the names like Kool-Aid McKinstry. I like the coldest ever. I like all those names, but Stickers and whatever the other dude's name was, just say his first name. Whoever, just say the first name. Don't make that mistake. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't make that mistake, please, because I want to hear in the parking lot. What do you mean by that? Don't make that mistake.
That was my PSA for everyone. That was just my PSA.
You guys know that dude's story? He like never played college football and literally played like indoor arena football, then the CFL. That's so cool.
Right.
It is.
It's crazy. He's most likely gonna be a practice squad guy. But we were talking about cornerback. Let's talk about that real quick. DJ Reed, I think he slightly took a step back last season. I think he's solid, still good. You gotta pay MC2, the best nickel in the league. But I like the fact that the Jets went and got a guy like Stiggers who can not push, but can make enough noise to suggest that if the Jets wanted to let Reed go next year and move MC2 to CB2 and make Stiggers a nickel, then I like that idea. I like the idea of saying we have some guys who could push each other and make the roster, a little bit more competitive. Outside of Sauce and Michael Carter II, I don't really like the DBs that we've normally drafted, especially when we go on like the hybrid safety linebacker thing. But we also have some crazy undrafted free agents again this year that were like really like freak athletes from what I'm hearing. But yeah, I like the idea that the roster can shape itself out. Kev, there's not much to talk about on defense. The defense is solid. We got Reddick, we got Kinlaw, we're bringing back veterans. We still got a top 5 interior defensive lineman in Quentin Williams. We got a All-Pro in Quincy Williams. Offense is where the problems going to feel like they're going to tend to lie. What are your thoughts on this Jets offense this season, and how much concern do you have at the wide receiver position?
I mean, they are one injury away from playing me. So at receiver. So it's like, yeah, that one. If everybody is healthy at the right time, I guess that's the key. There's no way most of these dudes are playing 16, 17 games, whatever it is. If most of these dudes are healthy at the right time, it should be a really good unit. Now, again, you have a 34-year-old tackle who hasn't played a full season in like 8 years. Mike Williams is perpetually banged up. He usually plays through it to his credit, but it's a little different coming off ACL. We don't know when he's going to come back. We don't know how his body's going to react, blah, blah, blah. The tight ends are fine. Tyler Conklin is just the guy you plug in. He's a plug-and-play guy. You're not expecting him to do anything amazing, and he's not going to hurt you either. He's just there. He's a guy. Yeah, Tyler, go. You do you. The line should be pretty good, again, if everybody is healthy at the right time. It's a lot of ifs. I mean, your quarterback is a 40-year-old declining quarterback. Yes, he's declining. Please leave me alone if you don't understand what the word decline means. I don't want to hear it. Don't at me. Don't care. He's a declining quarterback coming off a torn fucking Achilles. Like, we don't know what Aaron Rodgers is at this point. I think it's fair to say he will be at the bare minimum competent. We don't know how competent. We don't know how good. We don't know a lot of that shit. So I think on paper the Jets have a pretty good offense. If the Jets, they don't have to cross a super high threshold to win a lot of games. As long as they're just not dog shit offensively, they should win 10, 11 games pretty casually. It should be that kind of season because you score 20 points, you win. Like, I don't know what the record is when the Jets scored 20 points the last 2 years, but I'm pretty sure it's frustratingly good because it's like, why couldn't they just score 20 points more? But if they score 20 points, they should win. Like that's what it is. I'm not saying to aim for 20 points. That's directed at Robert Saleh because I know how he gets down, Mr. The first to 14 wins, whatever the fuck he said before that game. Loser. But anyways, the first to 17, whatever it was, loser.
It was a race to 20.
The race to 20. Why would anybody say that shit out loud? The fucking loser. Anyways, yeah, the Jets offense should be fine. Despite the fact that somebody who shares the same ideals as Jude is their coach.
We don't have to do this. I mean,
Jude is mentioned. No. Since you mentioned Jude, let's ask this question. It's a redundant question. I know Jude's gonna lollipop this
Please.
question as much as he can. I just want to get your answer so I can pass it to KP. What is a good season for the New York Jets after this offseason, considering everything, the free agency, the draft? You said it yourself in Discord. This was an A- offseason for the Jets. What is a good season for an A- offseason?
Good season, I'd say they'd have to win at least 12 games. If they win, in terms of expectations. So let me hedge my response a bit. In terms of if Aaron Rodgers is not, if Aaron Rodgers is not like complete garbage, I think the team is good enough as constructed to win 11 to 12 games. Now that doesn't mean I'll be dissatisfied if they win 9 to 10 games and sneak in, because at that point you break a 14-year drought, move on. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm cool to go. Now, if Aaron Rodgers somehow plays MVP level, somehow, I don't know if he can, but if he somehow plays at that level, you'd expect to win a couple playoff games. Let's just be honest. So that's the expectation. Win at least 12 games.
Where is Jude and what have you done with him?
No, I mean that is Jude. He flip-flopped about 18 times in his answer. That is
I mean,
Jude.
he did,
That's
but
Jude
I mean,
right
it was a thought out, concise answer. It wasn't. He didn't really dance around too much.
Time out.
Wow.
You do this thing every now and again.
He didn't Cupid
where
shuffle too
you start
much.
giving Jude way too much credit. You start grading him on the wildest curve ever known.
It's a little bit of credit, Kev. It's a little bit of credit.
No, it's you said it was concise and well thought out. 0 for 2, big fella. No, it wasn't. 0 for 2.
He said if things go right, 11 to 12 games. That's not bad.
That man said we should expect them to win 12 games, and then immediately was like, "No, I don't expect that. No, I don't."
No, he said he would be satisfied if they won 9.
You asked him what would make a good season. He said 12 wins. Andrew, that's what he said.
Yeah. Now hold on. The reason I say this as well is not because of how. Look at the schedule the Jets played this year. They played the AFC South. They played the NFC West. They played Pittsburgh. They played Minnesota. Can't remember what other team they played. I forget which one. AFC North, South.
Am I supposed to care about any of those teams?
And the Broncos. No, I'm saying
you mentioned AFC South. I don't give a fuck. You mentioned Minnesota.
I'm saying it's because it's easy. Like it's an easy.
I thought you were making some opposite point. My bad.
Yeah, no, it's an easy enough schedule. They play a very compared to previous years.
When the kitchen blows up. No,
this is an easy schedule. The only team that I think the Jets could just straight up outright lose is the Niners game. Everything else is either like at least 75% chance of winning. But the Niners game is the one I just don't think the Jets will win. Everything else is
listen, fair enough. We have patrons. We have people in Discord. They tune in weekly. They see your takes in the Discord. They see your tweets. Fair enough. KP.
Thank God.
A successful season for the Jets looks like blank.
Okay, so I think that I'm thinking with also the future in mind about when I'm talking about a successful season. So I don't really care what the in-season win total is as long as I make the playoffs. But for me, the playoffs have to be also successful for this to be successful. Like they can't go into a playoff game and get their ass beat. Like that doesn't count for me, because this is really a year where like the staff is in the balance. So if this staff is like just barely clinging on for dear life and like can't even be competitive in a playoff game, I don't really want them to stay. Like, so I don't really care if they just make the playoffs. Like if the mandate is make the playoffs and you get to stay, but then they get there and it's a mess. I don't want that. Like I don't want them sticking around if that's what's going to happen. So I think that's kind of where I stand on it. Where
do you stand?
They got to win a game.
Why did you do this, Kayla? Why, Kayla? Why did you do this?
You got a little nervous while Kayla was speaking because she said something very key. I don't care how many wins in the regular season. You know what I mean? Get to the playoffs. That excited you. But
the playoffs got to be good.
Right. Yeah. But what kind of spooked you was the playoff success. So Jude thinks getting in is enough for this regime to return.
Just getting in. He doesn't care how much they lose by. Or in his words, he just wants to see, what is it, X, Y, or Z? Like
X, Y, or Z.
When you clinch a playoff spot or about to clinch whatever it is, like he just wants to see X, Y, or Z, and the season will be successful to him. That's what he says.
Right. So what is your rebuttal to that, Jude A. Jackson?
Look, I would. I mean, you have a great point, Kayla. I would agree more if it wasn't 13 years. If it was like say 5 years, I'd be like, okay, yeah. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Let's just go in the Rolodex of the most recent Jets teams and coaches, right? Okay. What Rex
Okay.
Ryan did has not a goddamn thing to do with 2024. What Adam Gase did has not a goddamn thing to do with 2024. What Todd Bowles did has not a goddamn thing to do with 2024.
Oh my god.
What Robert Saleh did last year has nothing to do with 2024. I think I've made my point loud and clear. I don't know why the fuck a playoff drought matters, but we had the same conversation headed into week 18 last year, and you were beating me over the head with, well, they got to end the drought against the Patriots. Just got to beat the Patriots. The play, obviously, way different context. But I just don't. The last 14 years don't have shit to do with shit. Like, yes, you want to stop hearing about it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. They make the playoffs and they lose 27-10. I don't know how. Well, I know how because I know who I'm talking to. I know my audience. But how you look at that, you're like, man, I'm thrilled with this because they ended a fucking playoff drought.
Okay.
It's beyond me.
I dropped my microphone. 27-10. I mean, that would be a bit of a like if they got completely embarrassed in the first game, I would be kind of. I mean, I wouldn't be like they all gotta go, but I would be like, this is.
So you'd be disappointed.
I'd be a little bit like if they lost a close game, fine, whatever. If it's Patrick Mahomes and he's at MetLife and he does his thing and it's a close loss, I'm not gonna get upset. But if they go out there and get embarrassed, like the Browns did against the Texans, I might be a little bit disappointed, but not upset. Just disappointed. Just disappointed. You can
realize,
clip this.
you
can
realize
do it.
I've asked you that same question in the Discord roughly 89.5 times.
Oh,
and
no.
you have said the same bullshit every single time until now. Now that you're in front of Kayla, all of a sudden you want to be fucking reasonable. Like I don't understand this shit.
Reasonable Rudy. Don't get it. Reasonable Rudy.
All of a sudden he wants to be reasonable Randy. All of a fucking sudden. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Well,
I'm satisfied they made the playoffs. That's all he's been saying. The entire Discord's existence has basically been, I'm just happy they make the playoffs. I'm just happy they make the playoffs. I mean, it doesn't matter the score. I'm just happy they make the playoffs. Now all of a sudden, I'd be a little disappointed if they get smacked. But
I probably would be like, yeah, I'm still. I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers. You sold out for Aaron Rodgers. You should expect more. Fans should expect more. But that doesn't mean I have. But that doesn't mean I have to expect more. That means all of you guys have to expect more. But I don't have to expect more.
I'm just this is the most shameless flip-flopping I've ever witnessed in my 36 years of living, bro. This is insane.
Why don't you have to expect more? Like my thing is, as a fan, right? When we got Brett Favre, even though it was Brett Favre at the age he was, you still expect the team to do great things. And he started off 8-3. And people thought we were going to do great things when we started off 8-3. Of course, the many injuries that he had, X, Y, and Z. We don't get the season we have. We finished 9-7, and Mangini goes like 4-12 the next year, gets fired and everything like that. Whatever. We have the start we have. You're at MetLife, Jude. You're there. It's Monday night prime time. Gold green glowing wristbands.
Oh yeah, that was the most beautiful pregame thing I've ever been in my entire life. I was like, it was in awe, and then he died.
So you see all you were there. You feel the air being sucked out of the stadium.
Yeah.
You feel it. You feel life be reinvigorated after that punt return win, and you think just making it is enough.
I mean, yeah.
Like you were there.
Yes. When you put it that way, I mean, if they go and get blown out wild card weekend, it would be. I'm going to amend myself a little bit because I realized after talking with Case, talking with Kayla, talking with Kev, I'm going to amend myself and say that if they go to the wild card and get blown out, or even if they lose at this point, they got to get to the divisional round. Get to the divisional round, I'm good. I'm happy. After that, it is what it is. House money. It's house money. You go into Kansas City, you go to Arrowhead. No one expects you to win. Go out there and play your best. It's Patrick Mahomes. This is Patrick Mahomes' league until it isn't.
Get the fuck out of my face, dude.
Wow.
What are you
doing?
You're making an appearance.
Well,
this flip flop is nasty. Like it's so nasty. I've asked you that same goddamn question 100 times. If they get blown out, then what? Are you still? And this is the thing. I call you a flip flopper not because I'm angry, not because I'm joking, but because you are. I call you that because you are. I've sat here and I've witnessed it. Like Alex Smith is your man's. I sat and I watched. I watched with you the Steelers beat the Chiefs in a playoff game in their crib, mind you. A game the Steelers scored as many touchdowns as we did. 0. They won the game anyway. You sat there, you looked me dead in my face as I drank my tequila, and you said, "I give up on Alex Smith. I can't do this." That's what you said. Direct quote. Next week 1 of the next season, Alex Smith lights up the Patriots in week 1. Mm-hmm. To be fair, I don't know. The Patriots weren't aware the season started. Whatever happened there would happen. He's there. Like, I'm back. I'm just like, this guy, bro. This. Like, just a flip flop artist. Like, Jude is just flip flop central. And you having set standards is whatever, or you being happy with this standard is whatever. You feel the need to beat us over the head with it for one, which do you? And then if anybody dares show any kind of confidence or talk a little bit of shit, whether it's fans or players, here you come like, oh, we got to settle down. We got to do something first. Like they can't show confidence in themselves. They can't show confidence in the team.
What did you
got to
say?
be miserable like you all the time.
Humility is coming soon. All that stuff, X, Y, and Z.
Humility is the biggest bullshit ever, but I'm not going to derail this podcast anymore. Wow. Biggest bullshit. Humility. People just want other people to be humble so they can feel better about the bullshit they got going on. That's another topic for another.
Humility. Listen, you brought up humility. We might as well go there.
Oh, wow! That was quite a segue.
Be humble.
Yes, that was quite a segue. Shit.
Be humble.
Yes.
Bitch, sit down. Kendrick Lamar, Euphoria disc. Wow. Internet was set on fire. I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. I love hip hop in general, but Kendrick Lamar, big fan of Kendrick Lamar. J. Cole knew what he was doing by bowing out. He saw the writing on the wall. This man knew, like, hey, wait a minute.
Hey, man, we gotta stop acting like J. Cole's so kind of visionary. We gotta stop. Stop.
It's a joke.
You're joking. Other people are not. My bad. Like, you are joking. But we the collective then, not you. We the collective. We gotta stop acting like he's some kind of fucking visionary. He inserted himself into business that wasn't his, and then he backed off because whatever it was, I'm not gonna call the man soft. All I'm gonna say is the move was soft.
Listen. Hindsight is 20/20, and that man had the quickest hindsight turnaround ever. Like the quickest turnaround, like less than 24 hours later. We are. I'm close to 40. You're in your 40s. You know what we call that kind of shit? We grew up on 90s rap. You know what we call that shit? Soft. Heavy on the T. Soft. Hey, listen.
Soft. That's what we call it.
Listen to the Euphoria track. Kayla, I know you heard it. Jude, I'm not going to ask Jude, but I'm not going to ask, but I'm going to ask Jude. Did you hear the Euphoria diss track?
I have not heard it. Much
all right. Don't say that.
Of course not.
When Drake gets attacked, he doesn't get attacked like when Tupac Drop hit him up, and we made Jude read hit him up. The opening line is, "That's why I, for looser terms, fuck your bitch." That's. Wait,
why did you say looser terms and just quote him anyway? I don't understand. He said looser terms. I'm like, okay, so he's gonna soften this up. Like, no, you said it anyway. I mean,
you can't. I mean, he said some more stuff. But I didn't want to continue, but. Tupac was attacking Biggie in a way where it was like, this is personal. When Nas made Ether, he said he called him ugly. He said he was a shameless smile. He said a lot of personal. What's the word I'm looking for, Kev? When you're not trying to just be like a surface level insult, they're really digging deep on this like psychological level, like. Yeah, you were afraid to crack a smile. The girls called you ugly. Like, Kendrick's out there talking about, you know, his role, his fake abs. He's questioning his gangster. I like the Drake that makes me dance. I don't like the gangster. I don't like the gangster Drake. Um,
He questioned a lot of things about Drake. Lots of
but
things.
the black
Lots.
features line was so crazy because at first I thought he was saying, when he said black features, I was like, oh, how many times you going to reinvent yourself as, you know, to look more black? But like, no, it's the features, the people you have on your song. Like, how many features are you going to have on your? I'm just like, yo, this is personal on a psychological scale, and no one attacks Drake like Pusha T, Common, Kendrick. They all attack and Rick Ross because Rick Ross kept calling him white boy at the end of that song. It wasn't even the bar. He was like white boy, white boy. Like they don't like. There's a group of people that don't like Drake.
Yes, and they all are making themselves heard loud and clear these days. Like we just don't fuck with that guy.
Yo, I have a theory, but I'm gonna let KP talk. KP, what were your thoughts, initial thoughts when you heard Euphoria?
I think the craziest part of the whole thing is just like it's not like he was literally just like, I hate the way you walk, I hate the way you talk, I hate the way you dress. Like I was like,
Fire.
God damn.
I was like, that's not even like really a bar. It's just hilarious.
He hates that man.
Yeah, no, it was great. Like you just know, like at that point, it's when it's so personal because it's just like I'm just gonna list off everything about you, every simple, basic thing that you see when you like someone looks at Drake.
Yo, he said, when I see you next to Sexy Red, I see two bad bitches.
That is such a crazy line.
That's crazy.
Okay, and I'm not really like I listen to music because I like the song. Like I don't follow like the rap beef really. Like if there's a funny like diss track that comes out, I'm gonna listen to it. But it's like I like Kendrick and I like Drake, like in the songs they put out. So like
Right.
I don't really care what their beef is, but like this is funny.
It's hilarious because like Drake's coming out and talking about, oh, you know, you're on TDE and your splits aren't good and this and the third, you have a size 7 shoe. And it's like, oh, you know, some playground banter. It's funny, you know, that's not a lie. You know, Kendrick is a size 7 apparently. But Kendrick comes out and just like, all right, you're not tough. You're not tough. You're Canadian. Which is like hilarious. Like, because why Canada got to catch a stray? Like the entire country is just catching a stray. Like you're Canadian. Like come on, man. I think Common called him Canada Dry. Like it's just like it's just this is a lot. Kev, your thoughts on the Kendrick Lamar Euphoria track?
Bring back hate. That's my bring back hate and keep it here. Bring back hate. Listen, rap beef is not what it was. Yes. Bring back hate. Yes. Rap beef is not what it was because, well, a few reasons. One, people are not going to die behind this shit. No, I'm not endorsing violence. All I'm saying is people had more to lose back then. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not saying it should go back to that. I'm not saying it. Make myself loud and clear. Rap beef isn't what it was because of that. And two, these dudes are not gonna run into each other. This is not in 1998 where if you talk crazy about somebody, you might run into them at the Source Awards. This is not that. So like you have way less to lose now. And I mean, fan bases are what they are. Like unless you cross a line, you're not losing. Like you can lose some money if you say the wrong shit, but you're not losing fans. You're not losing nothing behind it. But the record itself. I think the unspoken part that doesn't get talked about enough is that, well, at least how I interpreted one of the lines, is that I think he was subtly calling him a pedo. The line was,
the women.
I make music that electrifies them. You make music that pacifies them.
Mm-hmm.
I could double down on that line, but I'll spare you this time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that sounds wow!
That sounds
like he's calling him a pedo. Yes, that's exactly what that sounds like. But
that's
listen. The only thing to take away, like the lyrics are what they are. The song was what it was. He hates that man, and I enjoy every single bit of it. He hates that man with a passion because it like Drake's song directed towards Kendrick Like it's a cool song. It's a good song. I'm not here to knock it. It's a good song, but it's for the masses. Like it's for us to enjoy and consume. It's light on the beef scale.
Right.
Kendrick made that song so Drake could hear it.
Oh yeah, it wasn't for
He
us.
don't really give a fuck what we think. He made that song so Drake could hear it because he knows it's gonna cut at his soul. That's why he made that song. He don't give a fuck if we listen to that shit. That's just a bonus to him.
Right.
He made that song because he don't like that boy, and it's been that way for a long time.
A long time. He's been sending a shot to him for the longest
10 years, right? It's been like since 2013, if I remember correctly.
It's been a long time, and I mean Kendrick did the control verse, he did the BT Cypher freestyle. You know, he sends subs. You know, and it's not, and I won't even say subs. A lot of these shots that Kendrick was sending was direct at Drake without saying his name, like directly, and he made it very clear to say his name. There's no misunderstanding. He said J. Cole's name too. And not in a negative way per se, but he was like, you know, I see you two hugging and kissing on stage, and he's like, I said, I hope they're my friends, but if not, I'm YNW Melly. Hey, that's all I need to hear, bro. That's all I need to hear. If you know the YNW Melly story, if you know he's on trial right now for killing his comrades, Kendrick is not. He's not playing around. He said, look, I hope you guys are my friends, because if not, I'm gonna kill y'all both. Yeah.
The one thing about Drake, I feel like every time someone disses Drake and Drake tries to diss back, they come back with like something crazy. Like I remember, who was it? Pusha T, outed Drake's secret child. Was it also Pusha T that also like outed him in blackface too? Like Drake?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so Pusha T outed those things, and now Kendrick may or may not be outed that Drake's a pedophile. It's like after a while, Drake.
But here's the thing. Like here's the thing about that track. Kendrick didn't tell shit that we didn't. We didn't either A already know or B could guess.
Right.
We didn't tell shit that we didn't know. Like
Kendrick.
Like I like to picture that Kendrick or one of Kendrick's people was like, all right, we're gonna do a deep dive on Twitter about Drake, and then every negative thing that we can find, like real negative, we're gonna make bars based off of it, and then voila, there's the song. Because there's a lot of shit that we've seen tweeted a million times.
Right.
A lot of the shit, and then you just added like real negativity, like that's just the cherry on top. Negativity.
Drake has definitely been accused of being a little too friendly to young girls before. That's not a first in this song. If you look up Millie Bobby Brown and Drake's friendship, that'll tell you what you need to know on that front.
Cringeworthy. Yeah, it's a lot, but I'll say that. And I mentioned I was going to say a theory, but it's not really a theory. It's just what I want people to focus on. Drake has had, I think, 4 or 5 beefs in music, right? Chris Brown, Common, Pusha T, Meek Mill, Kendrick. If you want to add Future, you add Future, right? Mm-hmm. His beefs are either over women or the apparent like ghostwriting stuff, right? I'm right. So, but the beefs over women is until Future is added to the arena. I also add Joe Budden. The beefs with the light skinned niggas was about over women. Just want y'all to know the beefs he had with Common was over Serena. Joe Budden was over Tahiri because he took Tahiri. There's a picture of him and Tahiri like out on vacation, and Joe's like, oh yeah, he told me about it. I'm cool about it, whatever. And then there's Chris Brown and Rihanna, right? You know, the whole thing, you know, that was the beef with
beefing with a crackhead is crazy. But go ahead.
Meek was because Meek said he couldn't believe what he saw in the studio. You know, what's the ghostwriting thing? Pusha T been talking about the ghostwriting thing, but that's more kind of stemming from the Birdman thing. That's what it's really coming from, the Birdman Lil Wayne thing. And then of course with Kendrick was heavy on the ghostwriting stuff. He came King Kunta when he was like, what a rapper with a ghostwriter, what the fuck happened? And he said, oh no, I swear I wouldn't tell. He said, well, most of y'all sharing bars like you got a bottom bunk in a 2-man cell. I was like, yeah, he's been, Drake's beefs have varied from, you know, we're smashing the same girl or you're a ghostwriter. That's pretty much what it is. Like, it's smashing the same girl, ghostwriter. Future just entered the arena because it's the same girl thing. And I believe, of course, you know, they try to make the Meek thing about Nicki, but it was really about the ghostwriting thing. But yeah, he's not well received.
There's a
But
random funny thing. I think Future and Metro Booming, someone like that, are doing a concert.
Wait. What's his name?
Metro Booming, please,
Oh, okay.
funny.
I thought you said Mitchell Boomin. I was about to ask you who the fuck is
Met-
Mitchell Boomin. But go ahead.
Metro Booming. They're doing a concert in Ontario too. I think they're doing one in Canada, which is kind of funny considering the whole beef stuff. That's my random hot take.
it's not a hot take. You just
It's not
said
a
doing
hot
the
take.
concert. It's not a hot take.
That's not a hot take.
That's,
This
that's,
is a,
that's
that's not a
terrible.
take. That's not a take at all, actually.
Terrible.
Hot, cold, lukewarm, doesn't matter. That's not a take.
And also before we move on to the last topic, this beef is good for the economy of Canada because apparently, when he mentioned the bar of New Ho King and the Chinese food thing, I believe that's where Drake got robbed in 2009 for his chain. Business started to go up, and people were like, "Oh, Kendrick said this," so people are flooding New Ho King in Canada because of the Kendrick this. So this is good for the economy. Let's not look at it as a bad thing. This is a great thing for the city of Toronto, beautiful city. I have family out there. I'm like 1/18th Canadian. It's not a bad thing. But as promised, one
Uh-oh.
more time, we gonna groove
Hmm.
one more again. And double the grooves, double your pleasure, double your fun.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Pull up a seat and get off your feet for Jude's Grooves.
Again, two grooves in one show. KP, how do you feel about getting double the grooves? Like we haven't spoken to you in a while. Double grooves on your return back to the show. How do you feel about this?
I really feel like you guys pulled out all the stops for me, and I really appreciate it.
We do.
We
Every
do.
time we come on. Go ahead, Jude.
Okay, here we go. All up in the blog saying we met at the bar when I don't even know who you are. Saying we up in your house. Saying I'm up in your car. But you in LA and I'm out at Jermaine's. Oh, okay. I'm up in the A. You so lame. And no one here mentions your name. It must be the weed. It must be the E, because you be popping. Heard you got it popping. Ooh, whoa. Uh-oh. Why are you so obsessed with me? Boy, wanna know. Lying that you're sexing me when everybody knows. It's clear that you're upset with me. Oh. Finally found a girl that you couldn't impress. Last man on the earth still couldn't get this. You're delusional. You're
A bar.
delusional.
A bar, by the
Boy.
way. That's a bar. Yeah.
Boy, you're losing your mind. It's confusing, yo. You're confused, you know? Why are you wasting your time? Got you all fired up with your Napoleon complex. See right through you like you're baiting a Windex. Wow. Okay, these are impressive. You on your job. You're hating hard. Ain't gonna feed you. I'm let you starve. Grasping for air. I'm ventilation. You out of breath. Hope you ain't waiting. Tell the world how much you miss me. But we never were, so why are you tripping? You a mom and pop, I'm a corporation. Oh, I am the press conference. You a conversation. Wow, these are some crazy. Like these bars are hitting. Like I'm like, wow. Oh, whoa, whoa. I probably added something. Why are you so obsessed with me? And boy, I want to know. Lying that you're sexing me when everybody knows. It's clear that you're upset with me. Oh. Finally, you found a girl that you couldn't impress. Last man on the earth still couldn't get this. You're delusional. You're delusional. Boy, you're losing your mind. It's confusing, yo. You're confused, you know? Why are you wasting your time? Got you all fired up in the Napoleon complex. See right through you like you're baiting a Windex. Oh, whoa. Hey, he's all up in my George Foreman. Why are you so obsessed with me? Boy, I want to know. Lying that you're sexing me when everybody knows. Lying that you're sexing me. Oh, it's clear that you're upset with me. Oh. Finally found a girl that you couldn't impress. Last man on earth still couldn't get this. No, you're delusional. He's all over my George Foreman. Boy, you're losing your mind. It's confusing, yo. You're confused, you know? But I can't do nothing for him. Why are you wasting your time? Got you all fired up for your Napoleon complex. See right through you like you're baiting a Windex. You love me. You really, really love me. That's it. That's the song.
Listen, that's a top 10 diss song of all time. Mariah Carey came out with the video, everything, dressed like Eminem, and he did not respond. That's the only person that got him to shut up. Shout out to Mariah Carey. The
You a mom and pop.
You a mom
I'm a
and pop.
corporation.
I'm a corporation.
That's a crazy.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, she.
Those were bars.
Those are bars. Those are bars.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm the press conference. I'm the
Those are
press
bars that can't
conference.
be-
Your conversation. Like I actually felt that when I said, I'm like, yeah.
Listen, that's apropos to the ending of this show, especially with the Euphoria disc. Mimi has some bars. She has some bars, and she lined and she sung them. She sung them well. And Eminem had no response. He had nothing to say after that. Guy, I'm gonna stop talking about it now. enough of that embarrassment. But we about to be out of here. But before we go, of course, make sure you follow us on Instagram and on Twitter or X at MIPod69. Follow us on TikTok, middle_initial_pod on TikTok. Make sure you follow Kevin Lewis, KayleeW24, and tune into the Underdog Fantasy Network and listen to him and Coley Mick, the only teams that matter on Underdog Fantasy Podcast Network. And of course, Jude Truth, the groovy one at Jude Truth. And we have a baseball show to be added to our network with Maddie Trainer and Chris Hecker, the Black Diamond Pod. I might have to change that name. You know, 2 white guys in a Black Diamond Pod.
I was gonna ask that about that.
It was supposed to be me and Kev's like segment, but you know,
the white guy.
we'll do it live. We'll do it live. And make sure you follow KP on social media at KP_on_TV and follow the New York Mets because she's going to be running the social media account for my favorite baseball team of all time. I don't know how lucky a person can get, but I'm lucky because now I can at the Mets and be like, I know. Maybe we'll get a retweet or something. No, but definitely congrats to you. Yeah, just listen. You know, a birthday shout out might be just the one thing I asked for. Maybe shout me, shout out my birthday. Yes. I have a knack of getting on the jumbo screen at games. The last time I was at a Knicks game and made to the Jumbotron. I'm going to go to a Mets game this month, and I'm going to try my best to get on the Jumbotron. I'm going to try again. I have a streak going. I'm trying to get the camera on me, and I'm going to just go crazy. So we'll see.
All right. Good luck.
But shout out to you. Any final words before we go? Nobody.
Jude, you are a flip-flopping artist, man. I gotta say, man, it's so shameless. I almost respect it. It's man. Nobody flip-flops harder than you. Flip-flopkins. You earned the nickname.
DeAndre Flip-Flopkins.
Flip-flopkins.
Are we done? I'm done. I have nothing more to say. Let's end the show, please, Case.
He's about to walk off set.
I'm done, Case. I'm done.
Stay inspired by 69, guys. Peace.